The other day, I was asked a really confronting question. It was in the middle of a coaching intensive, and I was able to see one of my peers and the way that he showed up in that group. And I will never forget this moment. He came into the group and he actually responded to something that I had said in the group. And his response was so full of fire, passion. You just knew that he was about something. And he essentially gave us an opportunity to be confronted with how we were showing up in that moment. Now, I'll never forget this moment because he was a peer of mine in a group where we weren't invited necessarily to be the leaders of that space. And yet he had something that kept him from being able to just showing up and going through and participating. As a participant, he showed up as a leader. Why? Because he had something to fight for. He had something to fight for that was moving him forward. For me, that language there, fighting for something, really gets translated through the lens of he had something to stand for. He had a vision of who he saw each and every person in that group being, as well as a vision for what he wanted out of the industry and other people, and the entire way that people were able to create their livelihoods and beyond. And in any given moment, he stood for that thing. It's a moment that even before making this video, I had to come back and remind myself, what do I stand for? It is one of the things that I need to make sure that I pay attention to is to not become a pop culture freedom entrepreneur, and instead take on the things that matter and work with the people who really are looking to create something different in the world. And as a result, there's a completely different energetic experience as to how I'm approaching this video than the one that I had created beforehand and the conversations that I had had earlier today, because I'm back in alignment with what I stand for. I stand for you and every other person who feels repressed in some way because of who they are, to reclaim all of who they are and to share that in the world so that we have the benefit of creating something different than what we've experienced in the past. I stand for a future where we are all liberated and free enough to be able to spend time collaborating, playing, and growing with one another. And it's in that space that I'm showing up for you here today. And it takes something to remind myself that. And it comes with that question. What do you stand for? For the next 24 hours, I invite you not just to ask yourself that question, but to actually implement that question. What I say by implement, I like to say live into that question. So give yourself the opportunity throughout the day to really see what it is that you stand for. See what you're currently standing for. And it might be standing for a status quo that you don't believe in through the actions or inactions that you're taking. See what really you feel called to stand for. And then come in, leave a comment, and let's start a conversation. Let's continue a conversation, actually, on what it is that you stand for. If you're looking to be a part of a group of people who all stand for something meaningful in the world, then I invite you to come and join us in the Trailblazer Collective. It's our group of globally minded, socially conscious, and impact-driven leaders who are looking for a peer group where they can basically come out and practice being all of who they are. Practice standing for what they believe in, especially when it feels dangerous or unsafe. We call it our Courage Gym. And this is a place for you to be able to come and do some of the reps and workouts that will help you show up more powerfully out in the world. You stand for something. Let us stand with you along the way. You can go to niyama.com/collective to find out more about that and submit an application to come be a part of this year-long program. Until then, I want to remind you something. You got this, and we got you. Journey on. Hey, Oniyama here. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and then go ahead and leave one of your insights from today's video in the comments below. If you're looking to take this deeper, you can go and watch another video, or you can go to niyama.com/tribe to get exclusive invitation to our tribe member only events. I'll see you soon.